going to do, I'm going to shut off the lights. And I want everybody to sit down in their seat and stay seated. Okay? It's really important you stay seated while we have the lights off because we have a lot of stuff on our floor. Look around. There is a lot of stuff on the floor. If you were to get up and move around while the lights are off, you could get hurt. So please stay seated, okay?
This is so cool.
We're going to sit here for a moment in the dark.
Hey, put that light on. And also that one.
And it's going to be a little bit dark in here.
Like,
And I'm slowly going to get more dark. And I just want you guys to sit here and think about light.
there.
While you sit here in the dark,
Is Miss Hutchison sad? How is Miss Hutchison? I saw your face right here.
I want you guys to think.
How is Miss Hutchison?
Okay.
Please. Mrs. Hutchison, your lamp's on. Yeah,
Okay.
turn it off. Turn it off.
She'll turn off the lamp, but the computers have to stay on.
Okay.
Okay. Because obviously I'm recording.
But now they can't see us.
Okay, everybody, I want you to sit here and think in your brain, but not with your mouth. I want you to think about light. While you're sitting here, I want you to think about what it's like to be in this dark room. And think about what you can see around the room. I want you to think about where you are actually seeing light coming from. What are the sources of light in the
I
room?
can see myself.
Where do you see light coming from? Okay, I'm going to turn on the light for just a minute, and I want you to turn to your shoulder partner and tell them where you saw light coming from.
I saw light. I saw light. I saw light right there. Right there. And
I want you to oh, class. I want you to name the places. I don't want you to point and say there, 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 there. I want you to name what was causing the light.
the computer, and whatever.
If you can hear me talk once,
Yes, I saw them.
I'm going to look for somebody who can tell me one of the places you saw light coming from. Jacob W.
The door.
The door. Where in the door was the light getting through at?
The bottom and the window.
At the bottom in the window, where there's maybe a crack in the bottom and then the glass of the window, yes. Benaiah, where did you see?
From that little thing.
From the potpourri thing over there, is that what you mean? Yes. There was light coming out of that.
Oh.
Willow, where did you see?
The computers and the phone.
The computers and phone. Did anybody else see light coming from someplace else? Jake?
The lamps.
The lamps, before we shut the lamps off, there was lights coming from the lamps. And Remy? Oh, somebody stole your idea. Well, that's a good thing about scientists. We're building on our own ideas, aren't we? Okay, I'm going to say two things. If you like the first idea, then you're going to go to this side of the room. If you like the second idea, you're going to walk to that side of the room.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to read them now. The first idea, I think we need light to see things. If you like that idea, you'll go over here. The second idea is, I think we can see some things without any light. So which idea? You need light or you can see without light?
Here, I think you can see.
Okay. You need light to see? You think you can see without light? But I can all do it.
I can see. I can see.
You need light to see? You think you can see without? final moment. Think about which. Here, you need to pick one of the sites. So then you think you can see without light. So you need to go over there. All right. Over here, you guys think it takes light to see.
Yeah.
Over here, you guys think you can see without light. Okay.
You can do both.
Everybody take a seat. And we're going to talk about light today.
You can do both. You can do both. I didn't know which one. Pick one.
Okay, let's, everybody. I'm going to, but everybody wants to be back and seated. Okay, everybody. Last month, we talked about sound energy. Light is another form of energy, and light is the energy that helps us to see. I'm going to turn off the lights again. And this time when I turn off the lights, I want you to talk with your shoulder partner about why the room's not completely dark, where the lights are coming from, and whether or not if I turned off every light and covered every crack, if you think you could still see.
I can still see. I cannot. I can see. I can still see. I can see. This is you. This is you. So scared. Where are you? I can't see Jacob.
Okay, everybody. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be studying light. There's going to be some important words we're going to learn about as we study them. And I'm going to say those words right now. And every time we talk about light over the next few weeks, I want you to think about these words. And if you hear them, think about what they mean. The first word is light. Then is materials, mirror, opaque, reflect, shadow, translucent, and transparent.
Wait, how many is there?
There are 8 words that you will be thinking about over the next few weeks.
So, I got an idea. So, how about we go to the corners?
We're not going to do corners right now, but that would have been a good idea, and maybe we'll play corners with these words later.
Oh, come on.
We'll see if I can think of something creative for them. Okay. I'm going to give you some prompts, and I'm going to write the words up here. Everybody at their desk has a piece of paper that looks like this, with the word light in the middle. Okay?
Yeah, what? Yes, I
Can everybody tell me, just holler out the things that you have and the words?
It makes sense to you.
What were some of the things in the room that were causing lights? We're going to be working right now in this square. You guys should be taking notes with me, because at the end I'm going to give you only a few minutes to finish up. And so be sure to be writing these things down on your paper. Zoe, what was one of the things you said we could see light from?
We could see a light from, this is a really simple one.
Okay.
The door, because the door, every door in the school has a square thing where you can see.
A window in it. Okay, so Zoe is saying that we saw light in the dark room from the door window. Does anybody else have one? Maya, where did you see light?
On my backpack.
Your backpack? Something's glowing in your backpack?
Yeah. No, your backpack was glowing.
I bet it was your iPad in your backpack.
No, it's my backpack had glow in the dark.
Oh, your backpack has glow in the dark strips on it.
Like that.
That's cool. Okay, Layla.
I don't know my backpack.
The computer and phone. And Benaya,
That thing.
the air freshener. That's what they're called. Air freshener.
That thing.
Okay, we have a good list of things that we saw around the room when our lights were off. On your desk right now, before we go any further, you have a piece of paper that looks like this. And we are going to make what's called a pre-model. In science, a pre-model shows us, it's a picture of what we know before we start our discovery process. And so everybody's going to take 5 minutes and draw me a picture of what you know about light. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, so get out your crayons.
I need to finish a sentence. I
still
need to write.
And if you don't get it all done, I will give you time later to finish up. It's more important right now for you to draw your pictures.
No.
And do you have to write everything up here? No. If you have 3 or 4 of these, or two of the 4 of these, you are good. So just get a few of them down on your paper. I'm going to start the timer. So everybody needs to make a pre-model in the next 5 minutes on this piece of paper. A pre-model is a drawing that scientists use to show what they know before they start their discovery. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Everybody you can use markers on this too if you want to. Just think about what you know about light. Whatever you know about light, because what Remy knows about light might be different than what you know, Miss Willow. So you might need electricity, so draw something to remind you of electricity. That would be a good way to show me what you know about light. Everybody, the timer has started. Take out your crayons or markers and draw me a picture about light.
I'm doing electricity box. I'm doing a computer.
All of these are great
I don't know.
ideas.
A TV. An electricity box.
Just draw your picture, sir.
So,
On this piece of paper.
so they're saying that you can only draw stuff from light and heat.
No, you can draw outdoor light and you can draw indoor light. You can draw anything you know about light.
You can do sun.
Remember, everybody's going to have different ideas about light, and that's how science works. A lot of different people bringing their ideas together to test them out and learn more about an idea. However you think, sir. Mrs. Atchison, can you pull up the video speaking? When you are done with your model,
Can you whiteboard?
what?
Can I whiteboard?
You can write words. Models can include words. Yes, they can. So if your model has something and you want to explain it more, you can write some words on it. You can make more than one picture. If you know more than one thing about light, feel free to add to your picture.
Well, anybody does. And then,
We have about a minute and a half left to go.
can we use markers?
Yeah.
Good. Size marker.
My name is Josie. I'm an assistant science teacher in Central Illinois, and I've been
down at your seat?
That's alone.
Okay, everybody, I want you to finish up your picture. I'm going to give you 15 more seconds to finish up your pictures. 15 more seconds to finish up your pictures because most people are done. Stay in your seat. It does have a lot of light. Go step in and sit down. Yes.
I'd meet her in one day.
All right, I want you to turn to your shoulder partner. You're going to share with the whole table. Oh, I love that. I want you to turn to your shoulder partner and talk to them about what you drew.
That means all of us.
Yep, all of you guys will work together, and all of you guys will
I
work
drove
together.
a team.
Show them your picture and tell them what you had.
What's the other stuff? Electricity. Locks. Electricity. Locks and a door.
Just do your best. I see that you had a really great birthday.
That's what I do.
Now you can idea. Miss, can you tell me about yours and Layla about yours? What did you make? You like the iPad? That's what you know about light. And Layla, what do you know about light?
What is your typing
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
All right.
Everybody.
Everybody, who would like to share their picture of light with the class? Remy, your hand was up fast. Bring your picture up here and tell us what you know about light.
Does that look like?
Now, what's the picture? And you can point at it. Okay, you tell them what you have. What's that? The air fresheners. He's got some air fresheners in here. What else do you have?
What about the space? I forgot what these are called again.
I think you told me they were lightning bolts. Is that what you said?
No, I did.
Oh, you didn't put the lightning bolt? Oh, like the iPad and the phone? Or the window? Oh, the lamps. Yes. Okay, the lamps. So he's got the air freshener and the lamp in his picture. Raise your hand if you had an air freshener and a lamp. We have lots of lamps around here. Who has something different than the air freshener and the lamp? Randy, that was very good. You have lots of good things. Maya.
It's on the computer.
Oh, Maya has a sun and a computer. Did anybody else have the sun? We have several suns. That's a natural light source. Does anybody have something different? Why ask?
A tablet.
A tablet? Anybody else with tablets?
No.
Okay. Well, I know you all would love to share, but we have 7 minutes and we got a lot still to do.
In all of the stuff that
Oh, what did you have tonight?
electricity.
Electricity.
I got.
Because electricity is what powers the lamp to create light.
I have something.
Okay.
I have something.
Class.
Yes.
Set your picture aside,
No.
and I want you to get ready to write this definition on here. Light is energy.
Where?
Right here on your notes page, up here. Light is energy that helps us see. Energy that helps us see. We're going to get ready to show a quick video to talk a little bit more about light. When you are done writing energy that helps us see, give me a thumbs up. When you are done writing it, give me a thumbs up. It does not have to be perfect. It has to be on your paper, though. All right, I love it. Okay, Mrs. Atchison, we have more people with thumbs up than not. The rest of you can finish after our video. We're going to watch a short video about light. And speaking of, Benaya, can you shut the lights off, please?
Welcome to Kids Academy. It's not the helper light.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well, you know it's up here somewhere. Can you turn the light on? Ah, that's better. Here it is. It's much easier to find things now with the lights on.
What is light?
That's a really good question. What is light?
Light is made up of waves. These waves travel from light sources, bounce off of objects, and come to our eyes, allowing us to see things. Light sources come in all shapes and sizes. Little lights like this one help light up streets. Big lights help light up stadiums. Some lights help light up screens. Light like this comes from a flame.
Sources of light are all around us. Very rarely do we find ourselves in a completely dark situation. Me being outside right now, my main source of light is the sun. So let's go ahead and see what happens if I turn that off. Even without the sunlight, you can probably still see me. There are a lot of other sources of light besides the sunlight. We have electric lights, like lights in your house, on your tablet, or your computer, and those light up things at nighttime. So let's go ahead and shut those off now. Now you still may be able to dimly see me, but most of our light sources have been turned off. But as we know, when we go for a walk at night, there's one more big source of light, and that's the moon. The moon actually reflects the sunlight onto us. So let's go ahead and turn that off now. Now there's one last source of light, and those are the stars. So let's see if we turn those off. Now I've turned off all the sources of light. It should be completely black. Black is the absolute absence of light. If there's no sources of light, you're not going to be able to see anything. Let's go ahead and turn all those back on. Hey, welcome back. Now that the light's back on, it can come down from the sun, bounce off me, and be collected by the camera. That's how we see things.
Light comes from a light source. That source could be the sun, a lamp, or even a fire. It travels in waves from the source until it bounces off an object. When that light meets our eye, it allows us to see things. If there is no source of light, we see black. That's pretty neat.
Okay, Polly. We got our game. We got our light source. Now, let's play. We'll see you folks next time.
Bye, everyone.
You go first.
Okay, that video told
Subscribe
us
to our channel to
lot
stay
of fun
updated on
things.
new videos.
about light. One thing it told us was the opposite of what light is.
Is that
Jacob W., could you turn on the lights for me? What is the opposite of light?
dark?
Dark. What else did they call dark? So the opposite, in this corner, you're going to write dark. What's another word that they said would mean the opposite of light? Does anybody remember?
Wait, am I in the
It is a color in our box of crowns. I'll give you a hint. I heard black. That's different.
The sun.
Okay, so I heard somebody else heard another source of light, and the other source of light was natural. It was the sun. Do we need to add any other sources that we learned about?
Moon.
The moon. So the sun is a big source of light, and they said the moon reflects the sunlight. So it's like a mirror. It reflects the sunlight.
Stars.
Did anybody remember that mirror was one of our? No. Please do not stand up until I tell you to. I promise you will not be late for your ride. Before we leave, we got one more thing to do before we leave.
We need all bus riders and daycare riders to the gym at this time, please. Bus riders and daycare riders, please walk to the gym and have a great evening.
Okay, I want you guys to go ahead, if you ride the bus or go to Whitehair, you can go and I will do this with you in the morning. Go to page 36 while we pull up the riders. And after we watched our video, on page 36, let's go back to our first question. After the video, page 36. I'll wait for you here, ma'am.
Oh no. I actually like me now. 36.
Page 36. And on page 36, they ask us our questions again. The two questions we asked earlier today were, I can see things without light, or I can see things, well, she's studying right now, miss, you're studying. I think we need light to see things, or we can see things without light. Page 36. Okay, can you circle which one of these? The first one says, I think we need light to see. If you think after watching the video and talking about light today, I think we need light to see, circle thin. It's the first one of these two. And if you think you can see things without light after watching the video, circle the bottom one, Jane. Thin starts with an F. Jane starts with a J. Do you think you need light or the sisters see that? Do you think we need to see things with light or we can see it without? Circle which one you think.
What do you mean? Oh, don't help.
After all we learned today, can you see without light?
What do you mean?
Circle Ben if you think we need light, and Jane if you don't think we need light.
Okay. 36 with 19.
Once you are done, you can close your science book, and if your sibling is here, it can't be both, it's one or the other. We either need light or we don't have to have light. All right.
Yeah, we need light. What are the
And I will tell you after everybody's books closed, or I will tell you the answer tomorrow morning.
You circle which one you think is true.
Here we go. Yeah.
You can't
So you think
Where do we put our science book?
I think you might see something without light?
Yeah.
Thank you for working really hard and trying to get everything done. Just leave everything on your desk, all your science stuff on your desk.
Leave this on here.
Jay, you can go once you have circled one.
Leave all your science on your
We have some good scientists helping here, guys. Thank you for your patience to the older siblings. All right, everybody, so your turn in your science book to page 36, and I want you to get out this piece of paper. And I know that we did a lot of talking and a lot of experimenting with the dark yesterday, so we didn't finish our piece of paper. And so I'm going to wrap that up really quick for you. If your paper is blank, we are just filling out some notes. And you can copy down what you see. This one has a lot of stuff written in it. You do not need to write everything in this box. Just pick 1 or 2 or 3 of those, and then write these 2, and we're going to work on this one now. So what we learned, can anybody tell me what light is? That is in this box right here. What is light, Zoe?
It's reflection.
Light can be a reflection. Light can be reflected, I guess is a better way of saying that. Benaya, what is light? Light is energy, just like sound is energy. And it comes to our eyes in waves, like sound energy comes to our ears in waves. So here's the word energy. What does light energy help us do? Y-F.
See.
Yep, so light is energy that helps us see. That's what that says. Light is energy that helps us see. And then we learned from our video, what's the opposite of light?
Dark.
Dark. And are we talking about the kind of dark we experienced in the room where there was still light coming through the window over there? Are we talking about the light coming off of the computer?
Oh,
Are we talking about pitch darkness?
Yes.
Like we saw in the video, where you can't see anything because it is so dark. There is no light to reflect into your eyes, so you are unable to see.
So it's pitch black.
Pitch black. Has anybody ever experienced dark? So dark you could not see anything. We
I
have
have.
lots of people around the room that have.
I have, but pitch dark, I can still see pitch dark.
Do you think you could see if it was pitch dark? Has
Yeah.
anybody ever been in a spot where there was no light from anything?
Oh yeah.
Who can tell me when they've experienced that? Read.
This week on the weekend.
On the weekend, you get into some pitch dark situation.
Yeah.
What were you doing that was pitch dark?
I got my sister was really mad, so I had to go upstairs. So I made a fort, and it was pitch dark.
So your port was really dark. Did you shut off the lights in the room? Did you have a tablet or anything in the tent with you? Was there street lights or sun outside?
No, I closed the curtain.
You closed the curtains. So he might have made his room pitch dark. Zoe, when have you been in complete darkness?
On the weekend, in my basement when I had a sleepover, and my dad turned off all the lights so we could go to bed. And then in the morning, we woke up my dad by turning on the TV.
Oh. Yep, and the TV gives off what? The TV is a light source.
That was in the morning. So
Yep.
And it's loud.
And if you have a
Pitch black.
window in the room, could light from the stars or the moon have come through the window in the room? You shut the blinds? Sophia, when have you been in complete darkness?
When I was going to bed, my mom accidentally shut off all the lights without turning the other light on.
And were your curtains closed so no sun or no moonlight or starlight was coming in or street lights were coming in through the window?
Yeah, my curtains are very dark, like black. Pitch black.
You have blackout curtains to make it much darker in our room because even when our lights are off and our blinds are shut, there are what we saw on the door yesterday was that there's a little strip of light that shows through around the door because the door is not sealed completely shut.
But still, because even we turned off the lights in the kitchen, so there was no light.
So you had no lights on in your
And I
house,
couldn't even see.
right? And you could not see when it was that dark. I rode in an elevator once for 90 seconds into a salt mine, and a mine is like a cave under the earth, and they harvest salt down in that mine, or they used to. Now they store stuff down there. And the elevator ride was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Not very long, but it was complete. 90 seconds is the same as 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's a little math lesson for you as part of our science. So it was completely dark. And my daughter is afraid of elevators. And that was the longest 90 seconds minute and a half that I have ever experienced because I'm afraid of the dark and she's afraid of elevators. So woo, it was scary. I have no idea. One time we got stuck in an elevator and ever since she's a little edgy about elevators. Well, it started working like maybe a minute later, but for that minute she got really scared. So some of the sources of light that we talked about, if you don't have this on your paper, go ahead and start writing it down. We talked about how the door over there had a crack around it and also a window in it, so it let light into our room. Maya's backpack had glow-in-the-dark strips, so they were reflective. They had picked up some light during the day and were able to shine for her. My computer and Mrs. Atchison's computer, the air freshener was giving off light. We also talked about some natural sources, the sun. The sun is the biggest source of light in the world, we learned from our video. The moon reflects, I heard Zoe use the word reflect. The moon reflects the sunlight, and fire is a natural source of light. So, we spent all this time talking about what light is, an energy that helps us to see. Does anybody have questions that they might be wondering about or thinking about? Think in your head for just a minute about what you want to know about light. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think.
You said white.
Light. So everybody think in your head, 30 seconds. What is something I still want to know about light?
I have a question.
Nope, this is thinking time, not question time. This is thinking time. Put on your thinking caps and turn them on.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, now I want you as a table to talk about the questions you have about light. I'm going to give you 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds.
I don't got
You guys
one.
talk about your questions.
You
Right?
sun is underground. How does the moonlight get the reflection of the sun? Oh, no, because the sun
This is the right 30 more seconds to talk about your questions. Miss, if you have questions, you have to send them out. Okay. And then we'll just talk about questions. All right. Now, I'm going to call on each table, and I want you to tell me 1 or 2 questions you might have had. If your table's question's already been asked, you do not. You can just say, our question is already on the board, Mrs. Garton. And the pink table was our star table. So, pink table, what was some of the questions you had?
How does the moon, how does the sun, how does the moon take the reflection off of the sun?
That's a great question.
Underground.
Okay.
That's a very
That's a very good question. And over the next few weeks, we may have an opportunity to explore that idea a little bit. Does the pink table have any more questions that they want me to put? None? Okay, green table. What
I
one?
mostly had the only question. I had a question. If it just bounces into your eyes, how long can it go through it?
How long will the light last in your eye?
No, like how long will it just go through your eye and let light to other people, or what will it do?
Okay.
Long as short.
Like, so how long does the light last?
Yeah.
Okay. How long does the light last? That's what you want? Okay.
Is that what you mean? Like,
Or were you meaning like what happens to the light rays after they hit our eyes?
Yeah, I want to know what happens after it hits your eyes.
Okay.
It just keeps going to other people or it just stops.
good question.
D-O-O.
Jake.
Okay. Next up, I want to hear from the orange table.
How does the sun have light? I know that. Gas. I know that question. Or that. Yeah.
Writing. Just writing. No problem. Just writing.
Orange table, anything else? I think you have great questions. I heard you guys talking over there. Or is that
You're
you?
going too fast for me.
You do not have to write all of these, and if you want, you can start writing them. Or if you want to wait until you hear everybody's question, I'm only going to make you put one question on your paper. So you can wait and pick one. Thank you, Mila, for asking that. That shows good leadership in helping your classmates. Yellow table, what question did you guys have?
How does the stars make the light?
Okay. It's kind of like the sun, right? How do stars make the light? Okay. And from our blue table, I'm going to put yours up here, blue table, if you want to write your own, because I've run out of room
I
going
want to
down.
know how does the moon light up?
Okay, we have how does the moon reflect the sun? That's the same kind of question. How does the moon light up? It's kind of the same. So if you write that about the moon, you could write this question right here. Did the blue table have any other questions or?
I have another one.
Okay. Hazel, what was the other question at your table?
How does the sun reflect the light? It's actually because it's the lava.
Okay.
When you go
We have how does the sun have light? And that was one of the questions we have on the board.
How does the galaxy get its light up by the sun?
Okay. I'm going to have that kind of fall into the sun and the stars because the galaxy is made up of sun and stars and the moons and other planets. And those will kind of be answered through these questions if we were to ask those questions. Is there any question not similar to one that we already have on the board that you still want to know about light? Jacob W.
Why do all the planets circle around the sun?
That is a great question. And that is actually something that is explored in a different unit of our science. This is focused on light. And light, we know, is a source. The sun is a source of light. But we will study the galaxy, the sun, the earth, the planets later on. So I'm going to leave that question. I'm going to table that. That's a great question. But I'm going to table that until we get to that unit of science, if that's okay with you. We'll put that in what I like to call the parking lot of questions, because that's a great science question. Benaya?
How can the moon, stars, and sun, since they're in outer space, how can they go that far from our universe?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm going to word it like this, and you tell me if that's okay. How can light travel really far distances? Does that sound okay?
everything.
I like that, Miss Maya. I heard that. That was you, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. I love that you are doing that. Okay, Jake, you had one more question that's not up there?
How do the beepers light up?
How do the beepers light up? Okay.
What is that?
Could I say,
Like the cars that like when you crash, like those lights come on. Yeah.
could I say,
No, like when it's night, like the front of the car and the back of the car light up.
the car lights? Jake, you tell me if this would be an okay way of wording that, because that I think is a great question, and we could make it really big so it could include a lot of things.
Also,
And the question I'm hearing from you is, we talked a lot about natural sources of lights over here. Could we say something like, how are unnatural or man-made light, how is man-made light made?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna erase this line and move it up just because I need more writing room than I have down there.
But now we can.
You don't have to, because you're only gonna have to write one sentence, but I want everybody's ideas to be up here. Man-made light made.
This is so much.
It is so much, and if you don't have enough room, you guys have such great questions about light. So what I would expect on your graphic organizer, we call these a notes page. It helps us to think about what we're talking about and remember it. You will be using this kind of thing all the way through school and possibly in your future job. So it's really important to start learning how to use them. I expect you to write down Wyatt and Reed. I'm trying to help everybody else who's filling out the graphic organizer still. I would expect you to put in the definition, and that is answering the question, what is light? I would expect you to put in what's the opposite of light, or an antonym, dark and black. I would expect on your organizer for you to have written at least 2 to 3 of these. We have a lot of choices. And it says, where do we get light? Examples of light. And then this is, what do I want to know about light, or questions? You need to write one question. If you like more than one of them, you could be like Maya and write them all on your paper if you want. She was really going above and beyond this morning for writing them. Willow looks like she wrote most of them. But I only expect that you put at least one question on your paper. So everybody, this one is yours. Everybody write one question, 2 to 3 examples, this definition, and the antonyms. Wyatt and Reed, I need you guys to.
I got 3 of those. I got 3 of the ones you just did.
You have yours done.
I'm trying to.
Okay, great job.
I did 2.
If you have your paper all the way written out, give me a thumbs up. If you have your paper not completed, but everybody put your hands down. If you're still working on your paper, give me a thumbs up.
Wait, how do I do this?
Okay, we'll give you a few more moments. Jake, everybody make sure you're turned to page 36 in your book. Nope, just leave it at all right. Jake, are you good at that?
I'm crazy.
It's almost there, aren't you?
What? Oh, yes, it does.
All you have to do is write whatever Because this question that you wrote there is right there. All you have to do is write energy that helps us. You don't need to what?
This? You got it. You don't have to have one.
page 36 in your book. The two names that you will see in your book are Finn
And my brother. Finn and Win.
and Jane.
Yes.
Wait.
Some of you already did this, and you can change your mind if you want to. Some of you
What did we do?
left before it was done. After everything we've studied so far about light, your two options are, Finn says, I think we need light to see. And Jane says, I can see without the lights, my eyes will adjust.
I can see them.
So if you agree with Finn, write Finn's name on the lines below. Finn starts with an F, and this one is Finn. If you agree with Jane, who says, I don't need light to see, my eyes will adjust. Jane starts with a J, write Jane's name on the line.
I don't need light. You call him James.
And the names are in your book. Finn says you need light. Jane says you don't need light to see. Pick one person.
She hurt you.
If you think we need light to see, write Finn on them.
I don't need
If you think Jane is right and we do not need light, write Jane's name.
I
Once you
have
a
night
name
vision
on the line,
and I
give me a
need
thumbs
light
up.
to see and
Oh, really?
no light to see since I have night vision.
But does night vision use light?
Okay, everybody that has the name Finn or Jane, one of those two names written on the line, give me a thumbs up. If you are still working, keep working. Finn says, and don't put your thumbs down, that way I can know when everybody's thumbs are up. Finn says we need light. Jane says we don't need light when talking about if we need it to see. Thumbs up when you are done so I know everybody's ready to move on. By the time we are done with all of our science lessons on light, you should be able to answer that question. We have some things that we learned about light today and yesterday that would help you answer that question. And you're going to start building some other science things this week and over the next few days. And it looks like everybody has something written.